Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Shoaib. Welcome back. In today's video tutorial, we will learn fundamental concept of PLC programming using the Semantic Manager. Especially, we will learn what is a normally open contact or NO contact and the output contact or coil with a practical example. Whether you are a beginner or just looking to refresh your skills, this guide will help you to get started step by step. So, what is an NO contact? Normally, open contact is like an open switch, like any switch. Once in the normal state, it's off. Once you press, then it will on. A normally open contact or NO contact is a switch that remain open in a default state. When an associated conditions or input is activated, the contact close and allow current to pass through. For example, we have a switch or push button, and in the push button, you can see here we have a NO contact, and this, if we want to control a motor, so in normal state current will not pass through the switch. So current will only pass through the switch once we press the push button. Once we press the push button, current will pass through this push button and it will turn on the motor. So similar manner as NO contact working in a relay logic control system, similar manner in the PLC programming also NO contact will working as the same. So in the default states, it will open or off. Once we press our input is on, then in that case it will just pass through the current and it will turn on the output. So in a PLC programming, we are using this symbol as a NO contact, and if we want to turn on the motor with NO contact, so we are using the same symbol. Similar manner, output contact and output contact control the final actions, like to start a motor, turn on the lights, or open a valve based on the input condition in the PLC program. So this symbol we are using for the output contact or the coil in Semantic Manager. So let's combine the NO contact and output contact, and let's understand with a practical example. Suppose we have a push button or selector switch and we want to control a motor. So how we can program in the PLC, how if we have the push button or selector switch, and how we can develop a logic in the PLC. So before move toward the PLC programming side, we must have to understand how we can control a motor in a control system. So for example, we have a one three-phase motor, and our objective to turn on motor with the push button or the selector switch through PLC. So PLC cannot directly turn on or off the motor or cannot control the motor directly because PLC output contact or PLC output relays don't have the that much current carrying capacity, so it can directly control the three-phase motor. So generally we are using a relays at the output of the PLC, and this relay usually have the maximum 10 ampere current carrying capacity, and this relay can control those all equipment that current carrying capacity is less than the 10 amperes. So if we want to turn on the three-phase motor with the relay, that is also not possible. So we have to use a magnetic contactor, and this magnetic contactor will control the motor. So how the this whole will work? Once we press the push button, it will give input to PLC, and PLC will execute the logic, and according to their logic it will turn on the PLC output. That PLC output will turn on the relay, and then once the relay is energized, it will energize the magnetic contactor, and this magnetic contactor will turn on the motor. So if we have the some panel lights, so that we can directly turn on and off through relay. So for example, we have a selector switch and we want to control our motor with the selector switch. So in PLC, how we can program it? So the selector switch input will come in the NO contact. We will give the reference where the selector switch is connected in the PLC input. We will give the input address. As you can see here, the input address we already assigned I 0.0. Once the selector is on or off, accordingly our NO contact will change. Then we'll take output contact or coil, that once this output contact or coil is on, it will turn on our PLC output relay, and that will energize relay and magnetic contactor, and the motor will on. So in PLC programming, if we want to turn on motor with a selector switch, we have to take one NO contact and the output contact, and we have to connect with each other. So here you can see in our PLC program ladder language, once the switch is off, our output will also off, and once our switch is on, our output will also on, and our motor will also on. So let's do it practically, how we can program it in the Siemens SIMATIC Manager. So to program SIMATIC Manager, we'll double click here to open the SIMATIC Manager. So to create a new project in the SIMATIC Manager, we'll use the step 7 wizard. Just click it next and select any of the PLC controller. For example, I will select the CP131, and then just remain other setting, keep it default. Then click next. Then from here, the language, we will select the ladder language, and then click next. And here we write our PLC program name, for example, NO project, and click at finish. Okay, then select the semantic 300 station, then click the hardware. We will add some IOS module inside our controller. After that, come here in the semantic 300 and we'll select any of the interface module. Just select and drag it, drop it here. And after that, SIM 300 you have to select. And from here, you have to select DI and DO module. And randomly you can select it anyone. I just select this one and right click here and click at edit symbol. So as you can see, our input address starting from the I0.0, and similar manner for the output address also you can see our output address starting address is Q0.0. Click at save and compile and close it. After that, click here in the blocks, select and open the OB block. So our OB1 block is open now. So we'll select the network and then click here in the normally open contact. You can click it here, select it and then click it here. And you can select it from the bit logic also, this normally open contact also. Once you select in the below, you can see that the name is NO contact, and similar manner the output contact in the semantic manager we call coil. And then we will select the coil also, and after that I will assign the input address I0.0, and similar manner I will assign the output address Q0.0, and we'll save it. And after that, that's it, our logic. So once our in selector switch is on and our output will also on. So now we'll download this program in our PLC controller. So if you have the physical controller, you can download directly inside the physical controller. But in this tutorial video, I'm using the PLC Sim Simulator. So I'll turn on the PLC Sim Simulator. And I will select the PLC Sim MPI interface and then click here the run, and then we will just download our program. Click yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. So you can see our PLC controller is going in the run mode. Okay. So now I will go in the monitor mode. Click it here to go in the monitor mode or online mode. So now if I will turn on the input, that is my I 0.0, so as you can see my output also on. So so here you can see once my input is on, accordingly my output will also on. So it means once the input like selector switch is on, my output also on. So in SIMATIC Manager there is a, we can turn off. So SIMATIC Manager, we developed this program in the ladder language. You can also see this program in the function block also. So if you want to write program in the function block, it will like that, and in STL language it will like that. So from here you can change the programming language also. So Alhamdulillah, we learn in this tutorial video what is a NO contact, how we can program in a PLC controller, and we also learn one a practical example, like if we have a selector switch and we want to turn on the motor, so how we can program in a SIMATIC Manager. So thanks for watching this video.